Hi, I'm Abby.
And I'm Helga. And we are Nerd Noir.
Is that it?
I think so.
Hello! Yeah, we should just get started because we're kind of into our kind of would we, wouldn't we? Which actually leads us directly into the Johnny Depp and Pirates of the Caribbean 4
On Stranger Tides.
Well, would we?
Johnny Depp?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
I still would. With the eyeliner and the slightly camp.
She call me Mr. Bombastic, tell me fantastic. Touch me on me back, she says I'm Mr. Romantic. Call me fantastic, touch me on me back, she says I'm Mr.
Johnny Depp, yes we would.
Yes, we would.
Because we've got the new Orlando Bloom, Sam Claflin, playing the new character of the missionary Philip.
Is that true, young Clem?
Yes, though the UIC is a bit of a long shot.
There's no screen time between the new Orlando Bloom, missionary Philip, and Johnny Depp's character, Captain Jack Sparrow. There was just no, I think they exchanged maybe 2 lines in the entire film.
Yeah.
So of course we're not going to care about him because Captain Jack doesn't care about him.
Exactly, and they used too much time. Like I think they used at least half an hour, maybe 40 minutes in the beginning of the film, just introducing a character back again and introducing some of the new characters, which is rubbish because you don't need to. If we see Jack interacting with them, we will know them by just that. You don't need us to. You don't need us to see Angelica, which is Penelope Cruz, double cross him. We know she bloody well will. She's a girl that he's been in love with.
And it's a Pirates of the Caribbean film. Of course everyone's going to double cross everyone.
Interesting.
They're searching for the Fountain of Youth. Everyone is searching for the Fountain of Youth.
Blackbeard's
there. Blackbeard
He's
is played by
actually
Ian
good.
McShane, who is very good.
Awesome.
If I don't kill a man every now and then, they forget who I am.
But I felt the script didn't let him properly let loose with the character.
No, but that's
He was
because you
never
kind of
a big
have
threat.
that's because you kind of had 2 of them. With Jack Barbosa and you had Blackbeard.
Yes.
So they're kind of lost.
Jeffrey Rushback as Barbosa.
Brilliant.
Still brilliant.
He's brilliant, but the man is brilliant in whatever he does.
He's now working for the king as a privateer rather than a pirate.
Are we not king's men?
Penelope Cruz as Angelica.
There she goes.
Won't say much about her character's origin because it changes every 2 minutes because in the great pirate tradition she's a double crosser.
I thought that there was lacking chemistry because, and I don't know if it's because I knew that she was pregnant during the whole bloody shoot, but her bust size keeps changing.
That's quite entertaining.
It is quite entertaining, so the continuity isn't really good. She was too preoccupied about being pregnant to create this kind of chemistry that's needed, and the script didn't allow it.
I felt my problem with the character was I thought Penelope Cruz was clearly having a whale of a time. I felt that she looked like she was having great fun being in a pirate film.
I thought I should give you warning, we're taking the ship. It's nothing personal.
Sparrow, ven aquí o te arranco la cabeza.
You might be better off, you just...
Her performance is admittedly inconsistent because I feel there are some scenes where she's giving it her all and they're brilliant, and there are some scenes where maybe further along in the pregnancy she's not quite 100% committed to the role. There are some scenes I loved. It's been used in the trailers, so I can say.
Yeah.
The bit where Captain Jack Sparrow points a sword at her, and she says,
How is it we can never meet without you pointing something at me?
and I love the way she says that line. That's half her portrayal. The other half is a bit more sort of like, ugh, I'm hugely pregnant, my ankles hurt, can you please let me sit down?
Have you ever seen the Fountain of Youth?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
But the half that's teasy and flirtatious is great fun. I think it's the most likeable that I've found Penelope Cruz. I actually really enjoyed her portrayal of Angelica. I thought she was more entertaining than Keira Knightley was. Although having recently rewatched the first film, I warmed more to her character. I'd forgotten how...
Completely, but I think I was so obsessed about not liking Keira Knightley when I was watching that film the first time that I didn't like the character at all. But I think actually I warmed up because actually on the day that we were watching it, they showed Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one, on BBC. So of course
Which isn't great because it means you compare the two and realise how vastly inferior in comparison the fourth one is. Which is unavoidable.
Yeah, which actually brings me over to the director. because
Yes.
I did not think that he did a good job on this.
Paul Verbinski directed the first three, and now we've got
Rob
Rob Marshall, who directed the Oscar-winning Chicago.
You can definitely bring the whole choreography into it, where they are choreographed these like huge, massive fight scenes and that, which is all fine and dandy.
Unlike some of the fight scenes in the second and third films, in this film you could actually follow what was going on in it pieces.
Which also meant
Which
that
is
the
good.
fight scenes were much more personal, so you're following one specific character instead of just going into this massive fight scene
With tons of
hence
CGI.
Transformers. Blah.
Oh, we're back to the Transformers.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. But still, like the first chase scene, way too long. And the whole film itself is like half an hour too long.
It could have been cut down by half an hour. And if they were going to be that long, I would have rather that they spent more time focusing on character beats rather than just let's cram in another set piece, let's cram in another step,
fight.
another step on the way to the Fountain of Youth, which
There was like
it
that
was overly
whole like
complicated.
jumping that whole river thing was just like the only reason why they actually.
Yeah, they spent 10 minutes getting Captain Jack to jump into a river.
Yeah, when I'm like. But why? You don't literally get the point of why it's so dangerous and why they're actually leaving him to jump in that river to get that
I don't know
boat.
why he had to get in.
I have to mention this.
Go ahead. I don't know what it is.
Johnny Depp phoned this one in. I'm sorry, I love you, Johnny. You are one of my all-time favorite character actors. You dazzled me for the first time ever in Edward Scissorhands, but this was you watching yourself play Jack Sparrow in the mirror and thinking you look cool.
Or was it that the script wasn't there to give him
It's
enough?
a mix because
to give him enough to get excited about the character again.
rewatching the first one,
It's an amazing performance.
it is, and you just see that he has this like, it's the accidental action. It's him falling into not planning actually what he's doing when he falls into these action stuff, but just accidentally grabbing onto a rope that then swings him onto the next boat that then...
And he's usually screaming the whole time.
going like, oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing. But then this one...
Hang on, in the words of Toy Story, he isn't flying, he is falling with style.
Exactly. But in this one, he is... there's actually a scene with the whole King George thing that's out there now. He's actually planning every step. And I'm just going,
Whereas
hold
the whole
on a
thing
minute.
with Captain Jack is that he does everything on the fly. He does it.
He's
impetuous.
spontaneous, impetuous. He's
A force of nature.
Yeah, and he's so drunk, basically. That's the point. Cheers. And he's so drunk, basically, that he falls into the whole scene with him just fighting against Will in the first film. It's just him basically falling on his sword.
Yeah. Well, in the first film, they actually said the best sword fighter is Will Turner. The worst sword fighter in the entire film is Captain Jack Sparrow.
Exactly.
But
And
he's
that's
not
the
meant to be a
point.
particularly accomplished pirate. He's just a
Exactly.
very lucky pirate. And also, what I noticed most rewatching the first film, is that there are these lovely beats in the film where you see intelligence behind his eyes, and you see that yes, a lot of it is luck.
Yeah.
But he is actually more intelligent than he lets on. He figures out
Which is
straight
brilliant,
away
exactly.
that Will Turner's dad is Bootstrap Bill. And
you can see it's in the eyes. Acting is all up here, as Elijah Wood.
Johnny Depp,
And
Wood.
like Jake Gyllenhaal, when he's on his best, it's just here, source code.
I
Bloody
would.
go and see that
I
film.
would.
He's mine.
Get behind me!
He's mine. I'm about to say something.
I was going to say that in the first film, Captain Jack is treated with some intelligence and dignity, and in this film he's much more of a comic, two-dimensional character. And I think that is why Johnny Depp gives a worse performance than he did in previous films.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had less to work with. The character was massively diminished.
And I think I think that's actually the
But
fault of
he's
the script,
It's
because the
still
script
Captain
is
Jack
full.
Sparrow and it's still entertaining.
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
totally
entertaining.
like his
Kids will still love him.
We will still like it's Jack Sparrow. We bloody love
Captain
him.
Jack Sparrow.
Captain Jack Sparrow. Thank you very much. There's a captain in there somewhere.
Jack Sparrow. There should be a captain in there somewhere.
But the thing is with this one, they're phoning it in as well because they're relying on him basically doing all the work and carrying this.
Right then. I confess. It is my intention to commandeer one of these ships, pick up a crew and Tortuga, raid, pillage, plunder, and otherwise pilfer my Weasley blackguards out.
I said no lies.
First film, Captain Jack was almost a supporting character. I mean, he was
the
highest
character.
billed, but it was Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann's love story. Whereas the love story in this one didn't get any room to develop at all.
Which was kind of like
Visionary and
the Mermaid, that could have been axed. That whole storyline
actually could have been.
She's beautiful girl,
Very
stunning.
Bring the creature. She has a name.
The whole love thing,
She gets
not
about
necessary.
20 minutes screen time. I think the main problem with this film is that the new director, Rob Marshall, and the writers and stuff looked back on it and said, what everyone loved so much about the first film was all those brilliant action sequences. No. The best scene in the first film was Captain Jack Sparrow and Elizabeth Swann on an island with some rum.
Where's the rum gone?
One, because it is a vile drink that turns even the most respectable men into complete scoundrels. Two, that signal is over 1,000 feet high. The entire Royal Navy is out looking for me. Do you really think that there is even the slightest chance that they won't see it?
But why is the rum gone?
Just wait, Captain Sparrow. You give it 1 hour, maybe 2, keep a weather eye open, and you will see white sails on that horizon.
Must have been terrible for you to be trapped here, Jack. Must have been terrible for you. Well, it bloody is now! There'll be no living with her after this.
Bloody genius.
It's the repartee is missing slightly from this film.
Totally missing.
But do you know what? I feel we've been harsh on this film because we are comparing it to a film which is a stone cold classic.
It is a classic.
5 top hat film.
Totally 5 top hat. Visual effects are brilliant.
Yes, top of the.
But I also think that that's because more than the 2 other sequels, they rely more on sets, actual sets, and not the visual effects.
This is the first time I think they filmed it on an authentic ship as well.
Yeah. I did not, however, get the feel of them when they were in the jungle that it was warm. You didn't get that
that's
whole...
true. There wasn't like flies buzzing.
No, you didn't get the whole they're sweating. You didn't get the whole natural actually experience of them being in a warm place.
Yeah, but on the whole, special effects.
Yeah.
The mermaids were good. The
mermaids were really good.
Fountain of youth. What is required?
A mermaid, Jack.
Actually, the 3D.
Oh, there's 3D.
3D is brilliant in this one. Like,
made me feel a bit ill actually. I never normally get a bit. You know, sometimes people get seasick.
but that's the whole point because you're on a bloody ship.
That's true actually. It's awesome.
It's awesome. 3D. Go definitely see the 3D.
Actually, the main problem with this film, I think if it had just been a film on its own, if it had just come out with no baggage behind it, everyone would have been going, this is brilliant. But the fact is...
I would have still gone this too long because it's trying so hard to be epic, and apparently films nowadays has to be more than 2 hours to be epic.
But I still think that, in my opinion, not as good as the first, that goes without saying, and I think the reason it gets a bit of a panning by the critics is because you've got this brilliant film to hold it up against. But if you compare it to the other sequels, the second and third film, I think it actually compares fairly well.
It is alright, actually, yeah. If we rate the first one as a 5, the sequels as a 3,
yeah,
this one would definitely be a 3. 3 top hats. You cannot give it more because it's because of its flaws, basically, and because of the phoning in of stuff.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't give it more. It's a solid, fun, frothy summer entertainment blockbuster.
If it's on TV, I will watch it.
Yeah, I will rewatch it on TV. I will.
Did everyone see that? Because I will not be doing it again.